The Boston Celtics are changing everything. Offense, defense, rotations, rhythm. What you saw last season might not even resemble what's coming now. This is a team reinventing itself from the ground up, and every preseason game has already given us a glimpse of a completely new identity taking shape. Before we dive into what's really going on in Boston, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and click the hype bell to stay updated on every piece of Boston Celtics news coming your way. Now let's talk about transformation. Joe Mazzulla isn't just tweaking the playbook. He's rewriting it. The roster looks different, the style feels different, and the entire energy of this team has shifted. Gone is the slow, isolation-heavy offense. Instead, the Celtics are running, pushing the pace, forcing turnovers, and attacking with purpose. During the preseason, they jumped from one of the slowest teams in the league to ranking among the top 10 in pace. That's not a small adjustment. That's a complete cultural shift. Defensively, they've turned up the pressure. They're fouling more, yes, but they're also creating chaos. 6th in steals, 6th in opponent turnovers, and nearly every player on the floor has been involved in disrupting plays. 18 out of 20 Celtics registered at least one steal during preseason action. That's not luck, that's intent. Mazzulla wants aggression, he wants impact, and he's willing to trade a little discipline for a lot of energy. But here's where things get even more interesting. The lineups are fluid. In their last preseason game alone, 12 players hit the court in the first quarter. No rigid rotation, no comfort zones. Mazzulla says that might continue all year. Fresh legs, different matchups, unpredictable combinations. It's a gamble, but one that could keep opponents guessing and the Celtics constantly energized. Of course, there's one big concern already hanging over the season. Jaylen Brown. Tightness in his left hamstring has put his availability for opening night in doubt. And with Jayson Tatum still recovering, Boston cannot afford to lose its few proven stars. This roster, as Brad Stevens himself admitted, is unproven. And that makes every piece of news about Brown's health feel like a tremor beneath the surface. Yet even with uncertainty, there's opportunity. Derek White has looked like an all-star in the making, putting up over 21 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds per game this preseason. He's leading in every major category and proving that when the spotlight turns his way, he can handle it. Then there's Josh Minott, one of the most surprising revelations of the preseason. Athletic, energetic, and disruptive, Minott has embodied the new Celtics identity. He may not have the star name, but he has the attitude this system demands. And don't overlook Hugo Gonzalez. 19 years old, raw but fearless. Diving through screens, taking charges, hitting shots. This kid doesn't need a G League warm-up. He's ready to fight for minutes in the big league, and players like Pritchard already see his potential. So here we are, staring at a Celtics team that looks faster, younger, and far more unpredictable than before. But the real question isn't how they'll start. It's how long this high-risk, high-energy experiment can last once the real battles begin. Can Mazzulla's aggressive system survive the grind of an 82-game season? Can speed and chaos replace the star-driven dominance that once defined Boston? Or are the Celtics running towards something great or running straight into danger? The answers are coming soon, and they might redefine everything we thought we knew about the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics are entering a season unlike any other. Jayson Tatum is out with a torn Achilles. Jaylen Brown is nursing a hamstring injury. 2 of Boston's biggest stars, both sidelined as the new season approaches. And suddenly, all eyes turn to one man, Derek White. The quiet, steady guard who's always done a little bit of everything might now have to do it all. Before we break down this bold prediction that could redefine Boston's offense, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the hype button to stay updated on every piece of Boston Celtics news. Now, this isn't just another storyline. It's a turning point. With Tatum out for the entire season and Brown uncertain for opening night, the Celtics face a massive question. Can they still lead the Eastern Conference without their superstars? The answer, according to some close to the team, may come from Derek White. Celtics reporter Noah Dalzell made a striking statement this week, saying she wouldn't be surprised if Derek White averages 25 points per game, especially if Jaylen is sidelined for the first few games. 25 points. That's not a role player's prediction. That's star territory. White's numbers have always been efficient, but never flashy. Yet, what's emerging in training camp is a player stepping into a spotlight he's earned. His leadership has been evident. His defense remains elite. But it's his offensive confidence that's changing the conversation in Boston. Last preseason, he led the team in points, assists, rebounds, and blocks per game. 21.7 points, 7 assists, 6.3 rebounds, 3 blocks. Those are all-star numbers, and they came from a man many fans once saw as the 4th or 5th option. Joe Mazzulla, meanwhile, faces his biggest test as a coach. The Celtics can no longer rely on pure talent to dominate. They'll need precision, discipline, and the kind of urgency that only adversity brings. Mazzulla has already hinted that rotations might change nightly, with players like White, Peyton Pritchard, and even newcomer Anthony Simons taking turns driving the offense. It's a system built not on star power, but on adaptability. And Derek White sits right at its center. Still, this isn't just about statistics. It's about identity. The Celtics' championship DNA has always been tied to resilience, to the ability to rise when expectations fall. White embodies that mindset. Quiet off the court, relentless on it. He's become the emotional stabilizer of this roster. The kind of player who can set the tone defensively, then calmly hit a clutch 3 in the final seconds. If Boston is going to stay competitive in an Eastern Conference filled with healthy, superstar-heavy teams, White must become something more than dependable. He must become dominant. And yet, there's risk. Asking a player known for balance to suddenly carry an offense is no small leap. Opposing teams will target him, double-team him, force him to take tough shots. The question is whether White can maintain efficiency while increasing his volume. If he can, the Celtics won't just survive this storm. They could evolve into a faster, grittier, and more unpredictable version of themselves. The new season will reveal everything. Mazzulla's adjustments, White's transformation, Brown's recovery, Tatum's absence. Every game will feel like a test of Boston's new identity. But make no mistake, the narrative now belongs to Derek White. A player once seen as a complimentary piece now carries the weight of a city expecting greatness. So, here's the question every fan should be asking. Can Derek White, the quiet engine of Boston's lineup, truly rise to become the Celtics' primary scorer, their emotional leader, and their next all-star in a season where everything feels uncertain? Or will the pressure of replacing 2 franchise cornerstones prove too heavy even for Boston's most reliable man? The season ahead will answer that. And the answer could change the future of the Boston Celtics forever. Celtics are standing at a crossroads. With Jayson Tatum out for the entire season recovering from a torn Achilles and Jaylen Brown still battling a hamstring issue, Boston's championship window appears to be flickering. But appearances can be deceiving. Inside the front office, Brad Stevens and his staff are not talking about rebuilding. They are talking about reloading. And one name has started to echo through the corridors of TD Garden with growing intensity. Trae Young. Before we dive into what could be one of the most explosive trade ideas in recent Celtics history, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and click the hype button so you never miss another major Boston Celtics news update. Now, here's what's circulating. The idea is simple on paper but seismic in impact. Boston would acquire all-star point guard Trae Young from the Atlanta Hawks in exchange for Anthony Simons, Sam Hauser, and multiple draft picks. 2 first-round selections and 1 second-round pick would be part of the package. It's bold, aggressive, and exactly the kind of move that could change the direction of the franchise overnight. Let's be honest, the Celtics cannot afford to waste a season. Not with the Eastern Conference loaded and rivals like Milwaukee, New York, and Philadelphia growing stronger. Boston needs an offensive engine, someone who can carry the scoring load while Tatum heals and elevate the attack once he returns. And that's exactly what Trae Young brings. A pure playmaker, capable of creating shots from anywhere, drawing double teams, and bending defenses to his will. His arrival would instantly reshape Boston's offensive identity. Picture this: Jaylen Brown slashing to the rim, Derek White orchestrating two-way plays, and Trae Young controlling the tempo with his deep shooting range and elite vision. When Tatum returns, the Celtics would possess one of the most complete offensive cores in basketball. White's balance, Brown's power, Tatum's versatility, and Young's creativity. Few teams could match that kind of firepower. Financially, Young's contract aligns perfectly with Boston's long-term plan. It's not a short-term gamble, it's a commitment to staying in contention for years to come. By the time Tatum is fully recovered, the Celtics would have a polished system already built around multiple stars who complement each other's strengths. And for a team that thrives on defense, Boston's system could protect Young from his biggest weakness. Surrounded by White, Brown, and eventually Tatum, his defensive flaws could be covered while his offensive brilliance shines. For Atlanta, this trade represents a reset. Moving on from Young now clears their cap space and gives them a chance to rebuild around younger, cheaper talent. Anthony Simons would bring scoring and spacing without dominating the ball. Sam Hauser adds one of the most reliable three-point shots in the league. Add invaluable draft picks, and the Hawks suddenly have flexibility to craft a new, balanced identity under Coach Quinn Snyder. This isn't just about losing a star. It's about redefining who they want to be. But make no mistake, the true winners in this scenario would be the Boston Celtics. Bringing in Trae Young would be a declaration that the team refuses to take a step back. It would signal to the league that even without Tatum, Boston is still hunting championships. And when Tatum returns, the Celtics would be capable of unleashing an offensive combination that no defense could comfortably handle. Still, there are risks. Young's defensive struggles are real. His fit within a team-first culture like Boston's raises questions. But Stevens has proven before that he's not afraid to take calculated risks. The trade for Kristaps Porzingis, the acquisition of Drew Holiday, each move was bold, strategic, and aimed at one goal, keeping the Celtics in the title picture. Adding Trae Young would continue that tradition of aggressive ambition. The timing feels crucial. Every year that passes without a major move risks wasting the prime years of Tatum and Brown. This trade could bridge the gap, keep Boston's offense dynamic, and ensure that the Celtics remain relevant not just this season, but deep into the decade. And that brings us to the biggest question of all. Would the Celtics actually pull the trigger? Would Brad Stevens sacrifice valuable assets and future flexibility for a player who could both elevate and complicate Boston's identity? Or will this be remembered as the bold opportunity they let slip away? What's certain is this. The idea of Trae Young wearing green and white has already sparked debate across the league. It's the kind of move that could define the next era of Celtics basketball. So what do you think? Should Boston take the risk, embrace change, and chase greatness right now? Hit that like button, subscribe, and click the hype button if you believe this could be the start of the next Boston Celtics dynasty.